Where am I thinking about eating first?
Probably eat at the Volvo Pavilion because it's the only thing that's going to be open, and then I'll probably have breakfast in my kitchen.
There's a ton of options. I think I've settled on a pork belly pork bun from Boru.
I don't know. If everything goes according to plan, maybe I'll have the team over to my house for a barbecue on my new grill.
Can I tell you the difference between Bristol and Newport? I think
the difference between Bristol and Newport?
Bristol. I think Bristol's New Hampshire? I don't know. I don't know much about it.
Well, I live in Bristol. I don't actually live in Newport, so I guess that would be the biggest difference for me, personally.
Bristol, Tennessee, maybe. I don't know much about Bristol. Where is it?
Bristol's a much smaller town, but I'd say equally important with its maritime culture. The Herreshoff Museum space there. They made a lot of America's Cup defenders there. The America's Cup Hall of Fame is there. My grandfather was a boat builder there, Pearson Yachts and later Bristol Yachts. You know, we're centered in Bristol, so you know it means a lot to me personally, but also it's a big part of the the sailing community.
My plan for this stopover, I just bought a house at the beginning of this race. Actually, while I was at sea, it was the closing. Thanks to my brother for doing that. I plan on spending my time there, figuring out what things I want to change, how well I can sleep in it, and then obviously catching up with friends and family.
It's tough, having a home stopover is it's good and bad. It's a blessing and a curse. You get to see everybody. Well, you try to see everybody, but you inevitably miss some. You got to make sure you continue to carve out enough time for your family. It's really busy, a lot of obligations, so try to get rest as best I can, but it might turn out the next opportunity for rest is when we start the transatlantic.
Coming in on the arrival, we'll have probably a lot of family, a few friends that are probably going to be on the dock.
My wife, probably, with pretty good certainty, depending upon what hour of the day we get in. I don't know, it gets a little late for my folks, they're getting older. I don't know if they're going to make it down, but there'll be plenty of friendly faces, I'm sure, whether it's family or friends or whatever. So there'll be no shortage of people, I'm sure of that.
Last time I don't think we had seen nearly as many boats at any other stopover as we did in Newport, and we arrived at 5 a.m. and there was 50 boats waiting for us in the cold, so can't wait to see what they come up with this time.
The arrival in Newport last race was pretty chaotic. We kind of floated in on our own in a not so great 5th place, but the welcome we received was absolutely over the top. We were shooing boats out of the way to do light air jibes and adverse current moving backwards. I mean, it was nuts. Unfortunately, it took us about an hour and a half or 2 hours or something to get from R2 to Port Adams, which is only, I don't know, less than 5 miles, something like that. So, hopefully we have pressure all the way in. Hopefully the crowd's just as big, and hopefully our position is as good as it gets.
We did a lot of things right, I think. We definitely had a bone in our teeth about getting back to the top of the leaderboard, especially after the last leg, not finishing it, but doing 3/4 of it. This team's pretty hungry at this point, and I think everybody's pretty fired up. We've got a lot of sleep. We've been on this board for about 5 days now, and we got a little bit of Vietnam action coming up ahead, and everybody's pretty fired up. Going on top. Ready, 2, 6.